I'm going to be ranking 7 different TCGs to work out, in my experience, which ones are the best. As you can see on the screen, I've got the 7 TCGs laid out to give you a taste of what is to be expected in this video. So we're starting off, we've got Disney's Lorcana, then we've got the Adrenaline XL Premier League TCG, we've got Magic the Gathering, Pokemon, the Star Wars Unlimited TCG, Yu-Gi-Oh, and then last but not least, we've got the Digimon one. And as you can see, these are very different sets, and we've also got very different expansions from these because I want to get a bit of a flavour of what their expansions are like. So let's get into seeing what these TGs are like, and let's start getting them ranked. So starting off, we've got Lorcana's Ursula's Return expansion. I've seen a couple of videos on this set to open. I know you can get different expansions from like the villains, you can get them from like the heroes as well. But I have no clue what to expect in this set personally. In terms of like, I don't know what cards are good, I don't know what cards are bad. So if I pull any good cards, please forgive me if I end up like kind of tossing them about and don't really realize kind of how good they are. So let's get into it and let's see what's kind of in this set. So kind of very similar packs to like Pokemon, it's similar crimping, very similar opening experience. As you can see, I'm not great with opening packs. So starting off, we have what looks like a code card. I believe that's a code, so it says team up with a fella Lumineers to free. So yeah, I think there's like some sort of code card that allows you to kind of connect to like, they must have an online similar to like the Pokemon set. Then I don't know whether they've got card tricks or we're just going to kind of get straight into it. So starting off, we have a Vitalize Sphere. We have Swing into Action, which looks like these are action. This is an item card, this is an action card. Dodge. Aurora, which looks like a character, so this is like a hero princess cards. Ursula, so again, that's like a villain one, so it kind of looks like it has, if it's from like, if it's a villain, what type of like character is. So if you go back to like the Aurora, you can see there, they've got like princess, it's a hero, it's a princess. And then same as like this one, you've got a villain, and then it's a sorcerer. So I imagine in this game, they've got like, different ratings of if it's a magician, if it's kind of like more attack. I don't know. I'm taking a guess. Then you've got the Cyclops, so this looks like it's a Titan card. Don't know what that is. You've got Vision Slab on another item. You've got Sign the Scroll. We've got Flounder. That's quite cute, actually. It's a very cute card. Who's an ally. You've got the Miracle Candle as an item. And then you've got the Queen as a villain again, but like she's a Queen card, so I don't know whether that has anything to do with like the princesses or if there's Prince cards, I don't know. And then last but not least, you've got a holographic Argies. Did I just come across one of them earlier on? I did, yeah. So it looks like they do kind of similar to Pokemon with like holographic or like I know they do like reverse holos in Pokemon, but they're quite cool. So the stats are pretty much the same. But that was like quite a cool opening. They get some like the cards that you recognise from the Disney movies. So obviously the Queen, you recognise Flounder as well, and Aurora. And what's interesting about this set is you get like different. I think you get different quantities of cards. So if I get the pack, wherever that may be. So what you can see there is you get like 12 in this set rather than like the 10 that you usually get in Pokemon, which is quite cool. So I guess if you're collecting them, or if you need to build a deck. For the TCG, that's pretty cool. So at the moment, we'll rank Lorcana's Ursula Return as number 1, just because it's the first one we've opened. So I'll keep that off to one side. And at the end, what I'll do is I will do like a bit of a ranking of 1 to 7, and I'll kind of give a bit of reason why I've ranked them that way. So let's get in the next one. So next we have the Premier League Adrenaline XL TCG. So this is the 2025 season. I don't know if it says how many cards come in this deck. I can't really tell. I know it does say kind of similar to Pokemon about what you can get in the different packs. So it looks like, if you can read from there, you've got Emeralds, which is 1 in 333 packs. Sapphire is a 1 in 500, and then Plasma is a 1 in 1000. So I'm going to assume Plasma is the best one. Let's kind of see what we can get, but I assume this is the Premier League teams as well. So for those of you who don't know like what the Premier League is, it's obviously the top football league in the UK. So let's have a look at what is inside this. So it's a bit of a paper bag, this one, actually. So they're not like the plastic that the Pokemon are usually packed in, but these were substantially more cheaper as well than like the other sets. So I think Magic the Gathering Pokemon's about similar price, whereas this one was like only about £2, I think, so maybe half the price of Pokemon. So if I go that way first, so God, I'm showing off the wrong card here. So what I'll do is I'll start with that way because it looks like whatever's on that side is the rare card. So let's not start with the rare card. So first of all, we've got a midfielder, Kulusevski from Spurs. So yeah, it's just a picture of him as a footballer with his like different ratings. I have no clue how to play this game, so I don't know I assume the higher defense and all that it works, but I don't know how you can do the whole defense, control, attack, whether it's like you do it on an overall scoring. I'm not sure how to play the game. We've got Newcastle defender, the Sellers. Again, not massive, I don't know massive amounts about football, so I don't know a lot about the current Premier League players. That looks like an alright card. Next one is a Liverpool goalkeeper. I do know about Liverpool a little bit, so I'm hoping this is Alisson. It is Alisson. So that's really weird. His total is less than Kulusevski, which you would assume he'd be a higher rated player than Kulusevski, but I don't know how this works. We've got a defender, which they've switched the cards around there. Yeah, so them ones were facing that way, but these ones are great quality control from whoever's making these. So we've got Kilman from Wolves. Again, just defender with his total stats. Again, I don't really know what's good, what's bad. You got defender, so you've got Kanji. He has probably the highest stats, I think. They got a forward in the set of Callum Wilson, and then I think I've exposed the best one in the pack. We have got a Basuma World Class. That's quite cool. So it's if you can see that in the holographic. Yeah, it's got this cool holographic world type thing with different triangles and squares on it. A little bit like a disco ball on the back, actually. That's quite a cool card. So I don't know whether this is one of the sapphire, or what do they call them? The emerald or sapphire or plasma. I really can't tell how you tell which one's which. Does it say anything on the back? No. I'm gonna have to look at that, and then I'll let you know at the end if this is a rare card. I should probably look at actually all the cards and see which one's rare. And then we've got a midfielder to end the pack in Diaby. So this is a hypersonic Aston Villa player. So again, quite a cool little holographic. I quite like the difference in how he's a world class. Basuma's a world class, and then you've got Diaby is this hypersonic or whatever that means, with this cool effect around him. So yeah, these are quite cool actually. I mean, if you're into football, it kind of makes a lot of sense of why you'd want to buy these and collect these. It looks like they've got a numbering system in the top corner, if you can see that on camera, if it let it focus. So it looks like, I assume they're in a numerical order, so you can collect the whole set, or you can collect a full set of teams. So if you're massive into football, this is probably a really good one to collect. The packs weren't massively expensive. I said they were about £2.50, so about half the price of a Pokemon pack. And you also get a nice little code card for a digital pack, so I assume they have a digital collection system, so that's quite interesting as well. So you can collect them all on the app. It says there, I think. How many cards are we getting this? We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So you got 8 cards in this. So a couple of less than the Pokemon, but they're quite good quality cards. They're quite thick, durable cards. I can see why people would be quite into collecting these. So that's quite cool. So let's kind of get into the next pack. So the next pack we have is the Magic the Gathering. So I'm going to assume that a good chunk of you guys know what Magic the Gathering is, or have heard of Magic the Gathering. Personally, I've never collected Magic the Gathering, but I definitely know of it. I know you can get Lord of the Rings set that looks very cool. There's currently, I think they've released a Spider-Man set, or about to release a Spider-Man set that looks very cool. So Magic the Gathering is a set that is made by Wizards of the Coast. So for you who don't know much about history of Pokemon, Wizards of the Coast used to make Pokemon till about 2001, I believe. So the Jungle set, Base set, all them different, back then Fossil, are all sets that were made by Wizards of the Coast, who also make Magic the Gathering. And I've seen some of the art on these, and these are very cool arts. They're very medieval and mythical. They've kind of got a very dark feeling to them. So I'm expecting big things from this set. Again, I don't know what the rare ones are. It says you can get different rarities. So it says it comes with 1 to 4 cards of a rarity range of rare or higher. So that's a rarity, I assume, of 2 is 26, if you can read that. A rarity 3 is 2%, and a rarity of 4, which must be one of the rarest cards in the set, that's a less than 1% chance. Then you get 3 to 5 uncommons, 69. I guess is this the count of the card is common, and then 1 land card and 1 card of any rarity in traditional foil. So like I guess it's similar to Pokemon. You get a foil card at the back end. Again, in this set, does it say how many cards? You get 14 cards. So actually, this is quite a lot more than Pokemon. And if I remember right, this was about the same price as a Pokemon set. So let's kind of see what we can get in this set. So again, very similar to like the Pokemon style of TCG packets. This is when you can find out what I can't get into packets properly. They don't really have a way in. What do they do? So come on, there we are. So what I'll do is I'll flip it over. Oh, that's weird. Which way do I need to go? Right, okay. So it starts off with the token creature, which is an elephant. That's a mammoth, but not me to judge. Magic the Gathering. So we got an elephant, and then you start off with the cards. So I wonder if that one is like the rarest is at the back, or whether the rarest is at the top. I don't know if there's any card tricks like Pokemon has. So let's just find out what the order is. I'm just gonna flip them and then go. So starting off, we have Light Shield Parry. Oh, look at that art. That's really cool. Like very dark medieval, like mythical style of art, which is really cool to see. Then you got Pedal to the Metal with his little like dude just like in his little rocket car, if you can see that, just boosting away. That's actually really funny. You got the Pactol Terror, which looks like the doll from like Toy Story. It looks quite a lot like that with like with his like weird head on this like body. It's weird that I've got like 2 car ones at the moment. Then you've got the Glitch Gore Surveyor. Then you've got the Beast Rider Vanguard. That's quite sick. Like he's on like some form of, is it flying or is it running? I can't really tell. Like his like electric sword. That's like really cool looking. You got the Light Wheel enhancements. So this again, like car one, which is quite interesting. Road Rage. I wonder if this set's like some sort of like car racing set. I don't know. It's like you got the Road Rage set, so it's like how can I put it? Like a drill, like a fire drill thing on a road. You got the Thundering Broodwagon. Right, I'm going to assume this is a racing set. You've got the Sundial Dawn Tyrant. It's quite cool. Oh, wow, look at that. Chandra's Ignition. That's a really cool art, that one, actually. That's like really nice. I really like the detail to put in these like artworks on the cards. Look at that. Like the detail in the card is like spectacular. It's like Pokemon level, which I expect you get from Wizards of the Coast. So this must be, I'm going to assume that's the rarity at the top. So like these are like, we're getting to the rare ones now. So like we're expecting 3s and 4s now. So that's a 3. Then you've got Quagfeast. Yeah, it's quite cool. It's a rarity 1, so I assume it's very unrare. Afterburner Expert. Is that the same guy as, where's that card? Is that the same guy as that one? No, he's different. I thought it was going to be the same card as that dude. Then we've got Gibrick Omnivore. Again, like a 1, but this has got like a bit of a holographic kind of. Is it holographic? I think so, yeah. It's got like a slight holographic like effect. And last but not least, we have the Thornwood Falls. Now, I have to apologise. There's probably a really weird cut there. My camera overheated, so it caught me out at the perfect time when I was in the middle of opening a pack. So if the cut is really weird, that's why. But, this Thornwood Falls, so this is holographic, so I think this is the rare card of the set. And it's the land one, so I think Magic the Gathering, you have to have land cards. I'm not overly sure how it works. It looks like it has something to do with, like, you get a earth and a water, kind of symbols or that they go with along with the relevant cards. So case in point is this gibberic omnivore. You've got like one tree or land or whatever we're going to call it. Magic the Gathering people are probably screaming at me on camera right now. But I assume that you need to put a land that equates to something like this, so that in essence you can play the card or you can play his special attack or as an attack. But this is really cool, this card, because it's like a holographic one, but it has like, I don't know if you can see that on camera, but it has like a weird. It's kind of like the reverse hollows of like Pokemon. In the way it's got like a patterning built into it. You probably can see it under the light a little bit. It's a really cool artwork though. Like look at it's like an underground garden with like a big highway through it. But again, it's like a bit of a futuristic slash like medievally like mythical type setting. So it's like looks like can't think of the word now. An elvish kind of city where they've got cars now. So I guess there's Lord of the Rings if it was in modern times. But these are really cool actually. So I really like the Magic the Gathering cards. They're really cool. They're numbered as well. So if you want to collect them, it's got that ability. Very similar to how Pokemon has. It has the illustrator's name on there. So if you want to collect an illustrator's set, they're on there. But there's some really cool cards in that set actually. And again, you get a couple of more cards than you would usually get in Pokemon, so quite cool if you want to build up a collection. I quite like how they're all, in some ways, very uniformed. With same Pokemon's obviously very uniform, but they've got this whole. Just pick up that one. They've got the whole black border like the Pokemon does. They've got like a singular border, and then they've got the artwork inside with all the descriptions. So very like uniform set, nice for collecting. Looks great when you put them in a binder. But I really enjoyed that set, so we'll put them off to one side. I will get round to the rankings at the end, but at the moment we'll get on to the next one. So the next set we've got is the Star Wars one. So this is the Star Wars Unlimited TCG, and this is the Twilight of the Republic expansion. I love Star Wars personally, absolutely, love all the movies, watched them many a time over, and my favourite era, and everybody's going to hate me if they enjoyed the original trilogy. I love the Clone Wars trilogy. My favourite movies, Revenge of the Sith, one of the best movies out there. Tell me in the comments if you think differently. So I'm very excited to open the Twilight Republic set, see what kind of characters I can get from them different movies. This surprisingly comes with 16 packs. I mean, look how chunky that thing is. It's like, I don't know whether they're very like, the same like thickness of Pokemon cards, but like, look at that there. Like that is insane. 16 cards is an absolute steal. Like that's a lot of cards for the price. These were slightly cheaper than Pokemon, not much cheaper. Probably in today's market actually, it's probably half the price, but MSRP it's about slightly cheaper. Again, kind of a paper like packaging, so it's not like the same plastic or whatever we want to call it, foil that Pokemon's in. So it should be quite easy to open, so I think you can just kind of rip it. So let's find out what this one's like. So if I just go, yeah, very easy. So I wonder if these are made similar to the like Premier League ones in some ways. So again, you obviously get the back of the cards, just says Star Wars Unlimited, which again they're all the same. Oh, there's a card there that I don't want to show. So I want to flip that one around. So I'm going to try and I'm going to flip this around. I'm going to take it off camera. Don't look. There we are. Right, they're all the same way now, so I can flip them one by one. So starting off, we have the... All right, it looks like quite a sick card, actually. You've got the Vanquish. It's a tactic. It's a holographic one, defeating on these units. So I assume the way this one works is it's a bit more like... it doesn't have the intricacy of some like the Magic the Gathering or... some of the other TCGs. It's a little bit more simpler in its playstyle, even though it was, I think it was, 12 plus. Then we have Finn from, obviously, the latest trilogy. That's weird, actually, because it's meant to be, what was it meant to be? The Republic? Twilight of the Republic. And we're getting Finn from the latest trilogy. But again, I assume that's attack, defense. I'm only going to assume that's health points. I'm probably well off on that one, but, tell me if I'm wrong. Then we have Hello There. The Obi-Wan one. Hello There. That's really cool. I like that one. If anybody knows Revenge of the Sith, yeah, Revenge of the Sith, when he jumps down a General Grievous, that's where that's from. Squad support, so you've got like a bunch of clone troopers in training there. So again, I assume this is just like an upgrade card. So it looks like it increases the stats of one of your cards. It's quite cool to have like an upgrade system. Then you've got the tactical droid commander. We've seen these from if you ever watch the Clone Wars animation, you'll recognize these ones. I don't think they're in the movies, but again, yeah, you get to tell like where they're from, and what type they are. And I think they are numbered. Yep, they are numbered from the set as well. We've got the Hotshot V-wing. So this is like the Republic's starfighter. So you do get vehicles in this, which is quite cool. So you're getting like a bit of a mix of, ground. You're getting actual units on the ground, and then you're also getting ships, vehicles. Because it looks like it's got it says, if you can see there, space. Let's get on camera. And then like down here on the tactical droid, it has ground, which is like quite cool. Then we have the Hailfire tank. So if anybody's seen the Battle of Geonosis, will know that one. This has some massive stats, but I guess if you were fighting a tactical droid commander, I imagine it would kill them actually. So this is again like a ground one, a vehicle, which is quite cool. We've got a creative thinking. So this is an event which kind of exhaust a non-unique unit, create a clone trooper token. So I imagine there's tokens in the game. Again, taking a guess. Droid Commando. Again, Star Wars, the Clone Wars animated series. If you've watched it, you'll know them. Aggrieved parliamentarian. What's that little stance he's doing? He's like he's scared of the other alien. He looks like, I assume he's angry, but he looks like he's terrified and he's scared by him. We've got the Vanquish. Oh, that's weird. I've got the holographic one of that, didn't we? That's quite cool. So we've got the holographic one there, and then we've got the regular version. Soldier of the 501st. The ones who went to destroy the Jedi Temple. Very, very fuming about that one. Still not over it. The 501st Liberator. So again, another unit. So that's weird because it's like a soldier and then you get like a unit one or something like that. So it's a full unit, that one, with the highest stats than the singular soldier. We get the multi-troop transport, the one that nearly kills, our Lord and Savior Jar Jar Binks. So, thank you, Qui-Gon Jinn, I think, who saves them. The battle droids, which is quite cool actually. I like the art. The art's like very animated and very like cool to see. It's like not from the movie, but it's not from the animated. It's like they've drawn their own art for this set, because obviously with the Premier League one that we opened earlier on, they just took pictures from them playing, or like the pictures they usually do before the season. Whereas this one, they've done their own art style, like very different, and it's not really like any. Might be from the comics. I haven't read the comics, but I really like this art style. Then lastly, we've got that's quite cool, a Maul. And I think these ones are rare. This is like a leader card, but I think the ones that are landscape rather than portrait are like really like the rare cards in this set. So I don't know whether this is worth anything, but that's a really nice card. I really like that one. So yeah, I like that card. I really like the set. That was really cool to see. I really like Star Wars, so always great to open a nice little Star Wars pack and see what we can get in there. So let's get on to the next pack and let's see what we can get in that one. The next set we've got is Pokemon. Had to put it in there. It's the biggest TCG probably out there. I think it is the biggest TCG by earnings, by how many people are opening it, how many people are kind of into it. At the moment, the market is ridiculous. So, for a lot of you guys, you're probably realising getting anything out of, any of them for MSRP is nigh impossible. So I know we all know what we're getting out this one, but I thought as a baseline, let's open it, let's see what we can get. Let's see if we can get any good cards, and then let's rank them against the other ones. I think we all know where it's going to end up on the ranking list, by the way. So yeah, I got Scarlet and Violet base set, just to kind of keep it easy. So again, what we've all seen before, we've got the code cards. So there's a code card for you guys. We then do the card trick, so we know this one. Apart from we don't know it from the rest. Flipping it, so we've got basic energy. Again, used for all the, I've never played the TCG, but it's obviously I know it's used for all the games. You've got a Drowsy, a Nemona, a Lechonk, a Flapper Beat, a Dash Bun. I really like the Dash Bun. Look how cute he is. I really want the art rare, and I can't think what set it's from, but there's an art rare of him where he's looking into a window, and it's so cute. I really want that card. I'm gonna, when I go to the next card convention, I'll have to make sure I pick one up or try and find one. A Tatsuguri, these are really cute. Torkoal, a Potion on a reverse holo, Boozle on a reverse holo, and then a Crydon EX. I'm actually quite happy with it. Crydon's probably, my least favourite EX out there in this set. He's a bit of an odd Pokemon, but I know he's a special Pokemon of Scarlet and Violet. He's a little motorbike, isn't he, on the game? But, I really like that. EXs are always a win. It's a hit is a hit in my view. My luck with Pokemon is terrible at best, probably. But yeah, I really like, Pokemon is what we love. I really like Pokemon. We love collecting it. I don't think you can go wrong with it. We all know what we're getting out of it. They have some beautiful artworks. I really like some of the custom artworks and all the different styles that you get from all your different artists. There's not one consistent style across all the different cards. And I really like the fact that you get all these like different rarities. So, you get your AXs, your IRs, your SIRs, which makes it kind of really fun to collect, really difficult to collect. So if you ever tried and master setted something by opening packs, you'll spend all your money on it. So it's easy to just buy the singles, but you can't go wrong with Pokemon. I think in my view, it's going to sit number one, but we'll get to the end and we'll rank them and we'll see where we actually put it. And let's get to the next set. Next set we got is Yu-Gi-Oh! So this is a Yu-Gi-Oh! Infinite Forbidden. I used to have some Yu-Gi-Oh! Cards as a kid. Not to say I usually collected them or played with them, but I collected them because I liked them. I like to look at them. I remember having a Blue Eyes White Dragon. Very cool card to look at. In these ones you get 9, because why not? Let's be different. You don't get the usual 10. 9's such a random number to be given from a TCG. Again, for six and overs. It doesn't say anything about the rarity of the cards. So it doesn't say like what rarity you can get, what's the good cards. I assume it's just certain cards are good and rarer than others. And then you get this is the Infinite Forbidden set. So it's funny because these look like the knockoff Pokemon packs. So when you look at these, you'll think, oh, these are a bit knockoff, but it's not. It's just the way that obviously they've crimped these ones, which is really funny because the Pokemon ones, which I will do a video on at some point, the knockoff ones have these ridges. So if any of you guys are not sure if it's a knockoff or not, first thing you look at, how is it cut? Is it ridged like this, or is it straight cut like the other ones? First thing you can tell on them. So to make it easy to open, so again, open like that. I'll open them from the back. Oh, it's bringing me back with the old backs of the Yu-Gi-Oh! Cards. That's so cool to see. So we've got, oh, look at that. Look at the artwork on that. It brings me back. I don't know, it's because they've never changed them like they have with Pokemon, where Pokemon went through a lot of iterations. Obviously, we've got those like grey outlines now rather than yellow. But Yu-Gi-Oh's just like, it's never changed. And it always like reminds me of my childhood. Like, I mean, look how cool that card is. So we've got the Cosmo, the Queen of Prayers. Very cool card. We've got Rusia of the White Forest. Then we've got Paralyzing Mushroom. Kochobo's Hinamatsuri. Whoa, look at that. Dark Magic Mirror Force. That's like nice. It's very holographic. It's like holographic. As if you can't see that on the camera, you just can't get it in the light. It's like holographic. That's a really cool card. Necroquip Princess. Interdimensional Matter Forwarder. It was a bit of a mouthful to say that one. Meteora Dryaton Tron. And then last but not least, I assume was that the rare card? I don't know. We've got the Valmonica Creation. So I'm assuming the very first one I pulled, which was the Queen of the Prayers, because I'm assuming it based on the total number of stars you've got in it. That's the rarest one I'm assuming I got. But they were really cool, actually. It just brings me back. I don't know. Like, they've not changed them, but they're just really cool to see. It's hard to say like why you love them so much, but as a child collecting these, especially like when I had that Blue Eyes White Dragon, it was one of my favourite cards I had. It just always brings me back when I open a pack of these and you get to see the old back to them. They're still the same on the front. The artwork's very, like similar. I know this is obviously, these are the first edition or reprints of the first edition. But it's so cool to see. Very nostalgic. Is it one of my favourite sets that I've opened so far? I like the Star Wars one. I like the Magic the Gathering. I'm not a massive fan of Yu-Gi-Oh, which is going to sound very, very outlandish and very controversial to a lot of you. It's definitely better than the Premier League one. I'm not a massive football fan, so for me, the Premier League, that can go last in my view. It was okay, very nostalgic, but that was kind of what it had for me. So we'll put it off to one side. We will rank it, but let's get on to the last pack, which is the Digimon one. So lastly, we have the Digimon pack. I don't know a massive amount about Digimon. I know it's made by Bandai. From that perspective, I don't know what you can get in here. I don't know much about the cards themselves. I don't know what they look like. I've never actually seen a video of these being opened. So it's going to be really interesting to see what they're like. To see the card quality, see what you can the different monsters, by the looks of it, you can get in this set. So this is the Great Legend. I'm assuming BTO4 is its edition number or its expansion number. It says it's a 12 card booster pack. You have 115 types in total, so I assume there's 115 different cards in the whole set. And it tells you up here what you can get. So you can get 54 commons, 30 uncommons, 26 rares, 12 super rares, and then 3 secret rares. So I guess you're going for a secret rare. Have no clue what they look like, so I'm hoping it's going to tell me what secret rares. So currently they've given me a little rip strip on there. So if you're nice and rip down the sides, flip it over so we can open from the back. Oh, these are interesting on the back. They have them numbered. So as player 1, again, don't know much about Digimon, so you guys in the comments tell me, if anything about if this is the same. Yeah, what this player 1 means, why is it numbered? If you could let me know in the comments, that'd be great. My camera went really funny there, so there's going to be an odd cut in the video. But we were flipping this card over to find out what this player 1, then this numbered thing was. So as you can see, it looks like it's a list of all the Digimon. So I thought it was a special card or something, but I don't know whether all the packs come with this, but it has all the Digimon names, or the card names, and it has the card number and the rarity. That's quite cool. You can see what set you can get. It's like when you have an ETB and you get the list of all the cards from a set in the Pokemon. It works like that. So, again, simple back. It looks like the Digimon logo. So we got the Dark Raw. So that's an effect card by the looks of it. It's a security effect. It doesn't really have any stats apart from its cost, which again, don't know the rules of the TCG, so don't know whether it's good or bad. Next one, we've got the Ghostmon. So this looks like a bit more of an actual card with, by the looks of it, with this DP in the top corner, at 2000, kind of a card that is a carrot, akin to a Pokemon card where it's with a Charmander that has a certain level of HP and obviously has attack on it as well. But I'm not, again, sure on the rules. I do like the cleanness of the cards though. They're quite nice. There's not a massive amount on the card. The artwork's kind of cool. A little bit, I don't know, you can see compared to Pokemon, I don't think the print quality is as good. If you look at that guy at the front, he's a bit blurry. So maybe that's just where they how they print them, but it just looks like it isn't the highest of quality compared to Magic the Gathering or the Pokemon cards, or even some of the other sets like Lorcana or Star Wars Unlimited. Next one, we've got Bushi Agumon. I feel like he's one of the main guys. When I've seen posters of Digimon, I've seen a character that looks like him. I might be completely wrong. But again, very clean card, not much text, quite nice. I imagine it's quite simple to play the TCG. Tell me if not in the comments. Then we've got the Bakemon. So again, it says, that's quite cool. It says, I'm a little bit further, it has, what he is, he's a champion, a virus, and then he's a ghost. So I imagine, in the TCG, it tells you though, there's they all have different, how can I put it, they have different categories we do in Pokemon. We have grass, we have water, we have fire, So I wonder if like Digimon has a very similar system. Oh, this is an interesting one. So it's like a white egg. Is it the same as the others? Oh, it's different to the others. So I don't know whether this is going to be like a code card or something in the middle of the pack, which is odd. So it's like another Digimon, but it's like doesn't have any DP on the top corner. So by the looks of it, when I'm reading like reading what it is, it's like an effect card or like like an effect card. So it has like it'll do a certain like effect, but won't actually attack or doesn't really have health points by the looks of it. So I wonder if that's like one of the ones you can play to bring in like an effect in or something like that. On the next one, we've got the final Zugabon Punch. This guy with his little, like, it looks like Thanos with his little like gauntlet on, and his crystals or whatever in them. He doesn't look like him in the rest of that, by the way. That's just the gauntlet. But he has like does anybody remember Ben 10? He looks a bit like Diamond Head with his like weird blue head, and this like mane that looks like loads of little diamonds. Yeah, it's quite cool. Has quite a bit of text on that card. I'm not going to get into the details like what these cards are telling me or anything like that. I'd get lost in the TCG. Then we've got Hippo Griffonmon. So it's just like a hippogriff. Again, quite a clean card. Nothing major, kind of, cool artwork. That's a bit like better than the other ones. Then we've got Volcdramon, which is like a big dinosaur with it's just like a volcano. It's a dinosaur. It looks like a Stegosaurus or something. He's got a big play cost and he's got like a higher level. We've got like a level thing at the bottom. And then we've got Gaboomon. This little, I don't know what that is. Like, I don't know. Like, it looks like it's not a sloth. It's like a koala-y thing, like a bear. I don't even know what this is. But again, like just a kind of regular card. It looks like he's is he a reptile? There's a reptile down there. He does not look like a reptile to me. And then we've got Strabimon, who's like looks like a bit of a furry to be honest, but so he's like he's a beast king, hybrid and variable, like just a regular card. Looks like he doesn't have much DP. Then last but not least, this might be the rare card. It might not be. I don't know. Which ones are rare, which ones are not. There's two. We've got Ghostsamon first. So this little rock dude, he's quite cute. Like a little teenage or like toddler ghost, like rock. It's like the Thing son, really, from Fantastic Four. And then last but not least, we have Fugamon. So this little like goblin-y thing. Actually wouldn't be a miss out of Lord of the Rings, this dude. So he's like a demon virus type. So I'm going to assume the rare one in that set, because it didn't seem like any holographic ones, was, forget to it, was the Ghostmon. So the Ghostmon had like he has like a bit of a gold, if you can't see it, like a gold outline to him, like the level 3 down here is gold. So all I can assume is that makes him a rarer card against the others. So this one is as well. So the Dark Raw also has that same effect. So I'm assuming that the top two are the rare ones, and then the rest are kind of commons. I'd have to check against the list, but it was okay. The cards are quite cool. Artwork, not to my fancy really. But each their own. Some people really like Digimon. But for me, I think this is going to rate a little bit lower. So what we'll get onto now is we'll get onto the rating, and I'll show you what ranking I'm going to give all these. So from a ranking standpoint, starting with number 7, we're going to start with number 7. I'm going for the Premier League one. I don't think it wasn't that good. I'm not a massive football fan, so for me, it's not really something I would ever collect. The artwork doesn't really have artwork, it's just pictures of the players playing. But, a lot of people are big fans of football, they're big into collecting these things, so I completely understand why you'd collect them. It's great if you want to get a set of a team or you want to get the full Premier League. It makes a lot of sense why you'd be into that. But for me, I think I'm going to rank that at 7. Next one, I'm going with Digimon. I don't know massive amount about Digimon. Artwork style didn't really amaze me. There was a couple of cards in there that the quality was a bit meh. Again, it wasn't the most exciting to open. And for that, I think I'm going to give that the number 6 spot. So for number 5, we're going to go Disney. I think some really good artworks in there. And obviously, it's very big. Disney's a huge thing. A lot of people are fans of that, so they're probably going to hate me for putting this at number 5. Tell me in the comments if you completely disagree. Personally, I think it sits on the hype of the Disney. The artwork necessarily wasn't unique. It was just very much based on the movies. And for that, I'm going to give it a 5 from that standpoint. In at number 4, I'm going to go Yu-Gi-Oh! It was going to go a step higher in my view, but that was, I think, based on nostalgia. It was very nostalgic to open, seeing the old backs, seeing the old artwork was really cool to see. I haven't opened up a Yu-Gi-Oh! Pack in about 15 years, but I can't help but think that Yu-Gi-Oh! Hasn't really improved. It hasn't kind of made itself stand out over them 15 years that I last opened a pack. It doesn't feel like it's necessarily changed. Now that might be wrong. I'm not a Yu-Gi-Oh fan. I don't play the game. Please tell me in the comments if you think that Yu-Gi-Oh has really advanced itself. Maybe the TCG's got a lot better over the time. But in my view, it sits at number 4. Very nostalgic, great to open, some very nice artwork, but necessarily hasn't improved over time. And for a result of that, it sits at number 4 in my view. Controversially, number 3 is going to be Star Wars. People are going to be screaming in the comments over this. I love Star Wars. Can't get away from it. There were some great cards in there. I really like the artwork. It takes me back to all the movies, especially the Clone Wars. It might be because I bought the set that was the Clone Wars set that I liked it so much. I really like the uniqueness of the artwork, seeing the old Star Wars characters, the droids, the clones. I believe you can get Jedi's in there. I got Darth Maul. That was quite cool to see. And it was just really cool to open. I don't know if the gameplay is any good. Tell me in the comments if you think the gameplay is any good in the TCG. But this was really cool to open. I would think in the future that I might want to collect this and try and collect a set. It'd be quite cool to have a binder full of these and try and collect a full set. I mean, I don't know how many cards in this, so it might be a bit expensive. But it was quite cool to open, and for that, this goes number 3. Number 2 is going to be Magic the Gathering. You probably all expected that. You probably expected Pokemon is going to be number 1. Magic the Gathering was really good. I really enjoyed opening that. I really liked looking at some of the artwork. It was because Magic the Gathering has a really cool look to it. It's got this very mythical and dark kind of medieval style to the artwork. The artwork is extremely detailed. It gives me very Lord of the Rings vibes in a sense. Which is really cool to see. I know they did the Lord of the Rings set, and I'm considering collecting the Lord of the Rings set because I love them movies. And it was really cool to open that. I really like the artwork. I really like the idea of it. I might even look at kind of getting into it at some point in the near future once I've kind of exhausted Pokemon, which probably is not in a long time. Really like the kind of card style. Thought it was a really good pack to open. And I'm very much intrigued to see what the other sets kind of come with as well. In at number 1, it had to be Pokemon. Had to be. I know I am the Pokecard guy. I think you guys would have killed me in the comments if I said Pokemon was 2 or less. For me, Pokemon undisputed champion of TCG. It's so good to collect. It has so many different cards. They're bringing a set out every month or 2 months at the moment. Got the new Mega Evolution set coming next week. The artwork is impressive. The card qualities are great. Not English is not so much as the Japanese stuff, but it's still good. It's the big one in the market. Everybody's collecting it at the moment, especially scalpers, which it's a different story. Probably a different video will be done on that. But for me, this sits as number 1, and I think it will stay undisputed for a long time. So yeah, hopefully you agree with them rankings. Tell me if you think any of the rankings are wrong, or if you think I've drastically got something wrong. You probably will have a big view on how I've ranked this. Hit that in the comments. If you really like the video, hit the like button. If you want to see more of the content, hit the subscribe button. Hopefully you enjoyed the video, and look out for the next one. Thank you very much, guys.